Okay, so today we are going to start solving inequalities. So the nice thing about solving inequalities is that we basically do it the exact same way we would solve an equation, except instead of an equal sign, we have an inequality sign. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, I still want x by itself, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides to begin with. This will leave me with 3x is greater than negative 24 plus 6 is negative 18. Then I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. And then x is going to be greater than negative 6. Okay, so on your Delta Math assignment, you will have to figure this out. We'll have to solve an inequality and type in x is greater than or less than whatever value. But then you also have to graph it on the number line. So just to plan out in our heads here, if I have a number line with negative 6, x is greater than negative 6. So if I think about my values around it, I'm going to have a dot at 6, and is it closed or open? This right here, this inequality sign, I'm going to have an open dot. And then it's going to be shaded to the right. Okay, so all of these values are greater than negative 6. So just to show you how to do that on Delta Math, because it is a little frustrating sometimes, here I'm going to have x, and then you can either use the symbols on your keyboard or you can click on them above here, negative 6. And then the way you graph this on their line is that you have to click where you want the dot. So I want the dot at negative 6, and then I drag my mouse all the way out to the end so that it's all green. However, we want a open dot, so you just click on the circle and it changes to open. Now if you accidentally mess up and want to change it, all you have to do is click the line to delete it and it will go away. Okay, but we know that this is correct. Yes. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to work through one more example, because there's one other thing to point out. So with this example, I'm going to start by subtracting 4. It's going to leave me with negative 7x is less than or equal to 28. And now I'm going to divide by negative 7. And here is the big idea. When you divide by a negative with an inequality, you have to flip your sign. So this is going to become x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, so remember, if you divide by a negative, you have to flip your sign. Okay, so that's the only thing that's different between solving an inequality and solving an equation, is that you have to flip your sign. And so if x is greater than or equal to negative 4, whenever I go back to Delta Math, we're going to say x is greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm going to put a dot at negative 4, and since x is greater than, it's going to move to the right. And then I want it closed because it is an or equal to sign. So it's greater than or equal to, which means a closed dot. Submit my answer. And there you have it. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have variables on both sides, if you have to distribute, if you're just doing a simple two-step inequality, you solve them all just like you would an equation, except when you divide by negative, you have to flip the sign.